Hi everyone! I was playing around with some new Tunisian crochet ideas today, so I've come up with these spades motif here. So I've actually tried two different versions of it. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this was made in a different way than this one. Or let's say the increase and decrease method was different to create this motif as opposed to this one. But anyway, I like this motif better. You can see it is worked in Tunisian Knit Stitch, while the other stitches here, the side stitches, are made in Tunisian Purl stitch, and I like the way it relieves out, it shows. So I thought to myself, why not show you how I have done this motif. So here I have started from a standard foundation row in Tunisian crochet of 11 stitches at the beginning, which counted as row number 1 for me. I forgot to show you how it looks on the back. This is how it looks, nothing relevant, and also nothing so much different from these two motifs here on the back. And it does not curl at all. So as I said, standard foundation row. Then I started with 5 stitches in Tunisian Purl stitch. Or let's say, since the first loop on the hook counts as stitch number 1, we will work the next 4 stitches in Tunisian Purl stitch, which is done, if you remember, like this. So you move the yarn to the front and wrap it around your hook. Then you go under the next vertical bar from right to left, like so. Bring the yarn to the back again of the hook, so you kind of unwrap it. Then you yarn over, pull through, and that's the purl stitch number 1. So 3 more. One, 2, and 3. This makes 5 in all, 5 stitches before the spades motif. Let's say this is row repetition number 1. I haven't counted the rows repetitions, but we will come to the right number now as we work. So here in the middle, let's make a single Tunisian knit stitch, which is done, if you remember, by inserting the hook between the front and back vertical bar of that stitch. So here, yarn over, pull through, and drop a loop. Next, we'll finish again symmetrically as we have begun. So 5 more stitches, 4 of them will be done in Tunisian Purl stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. While the last stitch, the border stitch, the end stitch, is done as a neat closing stitch, as I like to call it, which is done by inserting the hook under both the front and back bar, vertical bar of that last border stitch, so as to create a nice and tidy border stitch here, just as it is here on the right. Yarn over and pull through 1 loop only first, then we yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, repeating the second movement until the end of the row and until we are left with just 1 loop on the hook. So in row repetition number 2, we will begin with the increases in order to create the lovely spades motif here in the middle. So we will always begin with our 5 stitches, 4 of which are done in purl stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now to the increases. That could be done in several different ways, but in order to create this motif, I've decided to use the back bump increase method. So let's take a look at this single knit stitch here, and let's look at its back. you can see this tiny horizontal back bump here. So we will insert the hook there. Like so, yarn over and pull through and make an increase from there. Then we will insert the hook knitwise again in the very same stitch. And now, once again, another increase done in the back bump of this stitch. So we have already inserted and created this increase here. We will make another one. So insert the hook once again in the back bump of that knit stitch, yarn over, pull through, and drop a loop. And we have made a double increase here around the knit stitch we had created at the beginning. And we will finish with 4 purl stitches and a neat closing stitch here in the forward pass. Neat closing stitch and return pass. Row repetition number 3. In this row repetition we will keep on increasing here in the middle, just as we have done here in row repetition number 2. So here is the very same beginning as always, so 4 purl stitches plus the beginning loop on the hook counts as 5 stitches in all. Okay. So here in the middle, we will work the increases of previous row knitwise, so as Tunisian knit stitches. So we go and insert the hook here in the middle and drop a loop. Then in the center vertical bar, and specifically in its back bump, we will create again a double increase, just like before. So we insert the hook there once, yarn over and drop a loop, then work the middle stitch as knit stitch, and once again we will make another increase taken from the back bump of that stitch. So it may look a little bit confusing here because we will always be increasing in the middle stitch, or let's say around or behind the middle knit stitch, but in the end it will look lovely. So here we have the increase of previous row left to work knitwise. Here, so we are creating our spade motif, and we have now 5 loops of the spades motif only here on the hook. And then we will finish the forward pass with the remaining stitches that are worked as usual. So neat closing stitch and return pass. So in row repetition number 4, we will keep on increasing here in the middle stitch, just like we've done so far, obtaining a total of 7 stitches here to create the spades motif. So you know already how we begin with our purl stitches. And here we will work just like before in the increase stitches of previous row knitwise. So here 1 and 2. Then this is the middle knit stitch. This is its back bump. So we will take from it another loop, 1. Then we will work into the middle stitch itself knitwise. And then from the back bump another increase loop, and then we have 2 increases left to work also knit twice. 1 and 2. And then we finish just like before with a standard return pass. Okay, in row repetition number 5, we will do no more increases here, except you decide otherwise and you want to make the spades motif wider and wider. But we will work all of the stitches forming the motif knitwise. So we will begin, as always, with our purl stitches. And here in the middle, in the spades motif, we will work 7 Tunisian knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We will finish the forward pass with our 5 stitches, that is to say 4 purl stitches plus a border stitch. And return pass. Okay, in row repetition number 6, something will change, but in the return pass. So the forward pass will be just like the previous one. That is to say, we will work our stitches as we find them. So, as I said, the return pass in this case will not be the standard one, but it will be done like this. So we begin with the standard return pass by yarning over and pulling through 1 loop only first, then we yarn over and pull through 2 loops together 4 times. So this was once, 2, 3, and 4. It is easy to recognize because we have just reached in the return pass our spades motif here, where we will yarn over and exceptionally pull through 3 loops together here. Then we will resume our yarn over and pull through 2 once, yarn over and pull through 2 twice, yarn over and pull through 2 3 times. Now we will make a yarn over and pull through 3 loops together. So you see we have done a decrease using the return pass, and this is done so as to create this lovely oblique bars here. Okay, now at the end of the spades motif we will resume our standard yarn over and pull through 2 loops together until the end of the row. Row repetition number 7 will be done like this. The beginning is the standard one, is the usual one for this pattern. Now, this is where we made our decrease in the return pass previously. So now we will insert the hook knitwise here under both vertical bars that were united into one with the return pass. So this is 1. Then we will work the other stitches knitwise, 3, 4, and here once again where I had my decrease done in the return pass, we will work knitwise under both vertical bars here together. Okay, then we will resume our forward pass with the purl stitches. And the return pass will be done just like the previous one, so with the decreases. So we begin with a standard return pass by yarning over and pulling through one loop only first, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops together 4 times, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we have reached our spades motif. We will yarn over and pull through 3 loops together. Then we will yarn over and pull through 2. And now we will yarn over and pull through 3. You see? So yarn over and pull through 2. Now I am resuming the standard return pass. Okay, so row repetition number 8, I think, is done like this. The beginning is the standard one for this pattern. And just like before, we will work these 3 stitches knitwise. I say 3 because these ones are decrease stitches, so are 2 in 1. So we will work 1 knit stitch here, another knit stitch here in the middle, and a 3rd knit stitch here where the other decrease was done. Okay, and then we resume our forward pass. So, and the return pass for this repetition is made like this. So we begin with a standard return pass, yarn over and pull through 4 times. Now I've reached my spades motif, where I will exceptionally yarn over and pull through 4 loops together, thus closing our spades motif here. And then I resume my yarn over and pull through 2 standard return pass. Okay, so and in the last row repetition, we just work our stitches basically as we find them. So our 4 purl stitches. Then here, where I had a triple decrease, here we will work and pull up 1 single knit stitch from all 3 of them. Resuming then our return pass, our usual our usual forward pass. And the return pass in this case will be the standard one from beginning to end. So we just begin with a yarn over and pull through 1 loop, and then followed by a yarn over and pull through 2 loops together until the end. Okay, and this is our spades motif, which is a little bit bumpy, but rather lovely, I think. What do you think of this idea? I think it could be useful for any kind of project, actually. Let's see if I can apply it to some projects I have in mind right now. So, thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video, and keep on following me and leaving comments. I really appreciate them. And see you next time. Bye-bye.